It was Smackdown versus Raw on Friday night in night one of the draft. But who was victorious? Was it the blue brand of Smackdown or the red brand of Raw? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Night 2 of the WWE 2024 draft is less than 24 hours away on Monday Night Raw. But we're going to turn our attention to the last Smackdown, Friday Night Smackdown, April 26th. We're going to look at the draft. We're going to look at each round. We're going to dissect the picks. And we're going to determine which show is actually better off. So was it Smackdown? Was it Raw? There was 5 rounds if you add in the supplement round. So that's the round where all the jobbers just get assigned a brand. So we're going to go through all the rounds. We'll determine which brand won each round. And then at the end, we'll decide who came off better than the other show. But you know what? Not a lot actually changed. So, yeah, I can't say this is going to be the greatest video ever, but we owe it to the draft. You know, they wasted 2 hours in this shit. The least we can do is waste 10 minutes.
It's hard to make a good vid on the worst ever draft, but we're going to attempt, alright? We're going to attempt it.
So, let's start with the first round of picks. SmackDown selected Bianca Belair. Raw selected Gio. So that was the first picks of round 1. And then in pick number 2... SmackDown select Carmelo Hayes, and Raw selected Seth freaking Rollins. Now, according to Wikipedia, there was actually a change here. Apparently, Carmelo Hayes changed from NXT to SmackDown, but I'm going to call bullshit in this because Carmelo Hayes has been on wrestling on SmackDown for at least 4 to 5 months. Remember, he was having matches, then he had that bit of an injury scare with Austin Theory, but Carmelo Hayes has been on SmackDown. Just because he's been on NXT as well doesn't mean shit. Everyone can pretty much accept at this point Carmelo Hayes was a SmackDown guy.
Yep.
I'm not taking this as a move from NXT to SmackDown. Plus, when you look at it, when he was picked, he came straight out. It wasn't like Kiana James, who was picked last, and she stepped up from the pool of NXT people that were watching on. If Carmelo Hayes is an NXT guy, why wasn't he at the University studio at NXT with the rest of the NXT roster?
Because he's already a SmackDown guy.
Because he's already a SmackDown guy. Simple as. Anyway, right, let's move in. Who won the round 1? Who won the first selection of picks? I like Carmelo Hayes, but for me, it was definitely Monday Night Raw.
Night Raw every day.
They got Jey Uso and Seth Rollins, and you know, as much as I do like Carmelo Hayes, SmackDown wasted their first pick on Bianca Belair, so for me, round 1 is a Raw win.
At least we're Raw here, right? I actually think the 2 picks are acceptable, because Jey Uso could win the belt against Damian Priest.
Yes.
It's not like you're picking, like, a nobody. You've already got Priest, so you may as well go for a guy that can win it. And then for Rollins, it's a good pick as well. SmackDown, though, I mean, Carmelo Hayes getting picked is just mental, right? Considering, like, he hasn't got a win on SmackDown, and Bianca Belair being the overall pick.
It's almost like they had to pick a woman first because they knew the majority of the picks on this show were going to be male, and it is sad that they had to pick her first. We all know that she wouldn't be getting picked first if it was a real draft, but here, whatever. I'm going with Raw, winning round 1. Are you going with Raw?
Yep, Raw every day of the week.
We're both going Raw. Right, let's move on to round 2 then. So, SmackDown selected Randy Orton. Raw then selected Braun Breaker. Now, Braun Breaker did sign an exclusive contract with SmackDown about 6 weeks ago, so I will accept this as a SmackDown to Raw move, but you've got to wonder, the fact that he just signed an exclusive SmackDown deal, like, we always hear Triple H is this long-term booker. Why have him sign that deal if they knew the draft was coming up anyway?
I'm sure they had him, like, going between both, like, oh, who's he going to sign for?
It just seems a bit dumb having him actually take time to sign with SmackDown just to move him to Raw. But here, whatever. Raw selects Braun Breaker. SmackDown selected Nia Jax. And then Raw selected Liv Morgan. So we've got one change here. And it is Braun Breaker moving from SmackDown to Raw. What's your thoughts on these picks? And is that change enough to give you Raw the victory in round 2? Or do you think SmackDown edged it?
Raw's won because they lost Nia Jax and they got Braun Breaker. Yeah, SmackDown's got Randy Orton, but he's mid-card Orton. Braun Breaker's the future. Raw every day of the week won that round.
So you think Raw won because they got Braun Breaker for SmackDown?
Yeah, and they got rid of Nia Jax.
I see where you're coming from there. You know what? I'll actually agree with you. I wasn't looking at it like that. I was simply looking at it as I don't really care about the women, and Randy Orton is bigger, better than Braun Breaker.
No, well, Randy Orton should be picked first. He should be Bianca Belair. But he's not. So let's move on.
Plus, I think you've got... I can see Braun Breaker will win a world championship before Randy Orton.
Yep.
For the fact, I don't think...
Randy Orton will.
Yeah, so that's us, 2-0 Raw. Right, let's move on to the next selection of picks, and we've got round 3. SmackDown selected LA Knight, Raw selected Ricochet, SmackDown selected The Bloodline, and then Raw selected Sheamus. Now, Wikipedia again has got this as a switch, but Sheamus returned on Raw. Therefore, for me, I was almost deeming him as a Raw guy. Yes, he was in SmackDown when he left, but he returned to Raw, so therefore, I don't really see this as a switch.
It's not. Like, what is this? What was actually the point of this draft? Look at this. There's no point. It's actually embarrassing to even label it as a draft.
I mean, so far, we only have one genuine switch here, and it's Braun Breaker, who just joined SmackDown, so it's not even that much of a difference.
Yeah.
But he was wrestling on Raw as well, up until like a month ago. Anyway, round 3, I like Sheamus, but I have to go with SmackDown. SmackDown got LA Knight and they got the Bloodline. I think round 3 is a clear SmackDown win.
SmackDown won every day of the week.
I like Sheamus, but I mean Ricochet, come on.
You're getting the Bloodline. Yeah, Ricochet's Ricochet.
It's 4-2.
Adam Pearce can punch tables and Nick Aldis can punch tables, but Ricochet is shite.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Pearce could have had the Bloodline, but he chose Ricochet of the Bloodline. Make that make sense. But also, I mean, Adam Pearce, he was annoyed he didn't get LA Knight. He could have picked LA Knight over Liv Morgan. He could have picked LA Knight over Braun Breaker. And he could have picked LA Knight over Rollins and Jey if he really wanted to. So, I don't see how he's that angry.
Yeah, he can't complain.
So, yeah, we're both going SmackDown 2-1 then?
Yep, SmackDown gets my vote.
Right, round 4. We have SmackDown selecting AJ Styles, Raw selecting the Alpha Academy, SmackDown selecting Andrade, and Raw selecting Kiana James. Now, again, Andrade's been listed as a Raw guy here, and when he initially returned, he did return on Raw. However, since the entire lead up to WrestleMania, Andrade's been on SmackDown.
Yep.
He's been a SmackDown guy involved with Rey Mysterio, the LWO, and Legado del Fantasma. So, who are we trying to kid here to suggest this is somehow a major change and that it's a guy switching brands when it's really not? Andrade, this doesn't feel like a Raw guy going to SmackDown. This feels like a SmackDown guy staying on SmackDown.
No, absolutely. And I look at it, Kiana James going to Raw, the other two staying put. I can't pick a winner here. Both get shot on. So stale. The Alpha Academy. 4 absolute jobbers. Kurt Angle pretending that Chad Gable is on a level better than him. What amount of gear is Kurt Angle on these days? I need to know.
Right, well, who are you going with? We have to give a pick to somebody. Who are you giving the edge to? Is SmackDown getting AJ Styles just enough to give them the win?
No, I'm actually going to give it to Raw.
Because they get 4?
And they lost Andrade.
And they gained Kiana James?
Aye.
That's fair, I agree. I mean, AJ Styles is a great wrestler, but for me, Andrade...
It's waste of money. Waste of money.
He bores the shit out of me. So, at the moment, we have it 3-1 Raw, so I think we're going to go with Raw winning this draft, but we'll have a look at the supplement draft as well, and we'll see who moved there. So, yeah, we got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn moving to Raw. Baron Corbin going from NXT to SmackDown. Cedric Alexander and Ashanti the Adonis going from SmackDown to SmackDown. Ivar going from Raw to Raw. Shayna Baszler going from Raw to Raw. The OC going from SmackDown to SmackDown. And Zoe Stark going from Raw to Raw. So, not many changes here. Apart from Alba Fire and Isla Dawn moving to Raw.
What was the point of this, by the way?
And then Baron Corbin going from NXT to SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown like 9 months ago.
So
Alba Fire, right, and her.
Baron Corbin's a free agent.
True. Alba Fire, though, and a tag team partner, right? Were tag champs and pretty much didn't have a brand. So again, not really a change.
Yeah, but do you remember that whole gimmick where if you were a free agent, you got to appear on all 3 shows? But that's also the same thing they give to Brock Lesnar. So either being a free agent is a bonus or it's a hindrance. Either being a free agent is a good thing or it's a bad thing. They can't have it both ways. They give Brock Lesnar this free agent status, he can show up wherever he wants, but then they give it to people like Baron Corbin.
It's a joke. It's a yoke.
So yeah, that's the supplement draft. Who would you say out of this won? You've got Raw getting Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Ivar, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark. SmackDown got Baron Corbin, Cedric, and Ashanti the Adonis and the OC. Just a bunch of fucking bums. It's hard to pick a winner. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
I might just give it to SmackDown because they got Corbin.
I'd agree with that.
Because no, take out Corbin. I couldn't give you a winner.
You don't like Ivar and his big mustache and his suits?
No.
What about the attractive Shayna Baszler moving to Raw? Is that no?
No, it's not doing it for me. That's not an attractive manoeuvre.
I say moving to Raw. She's not really moving. She's just staying on Raw. How dumb is it? A draft and we've got people being drafted to the show they're already on.
Oh, it's awful.
Also, I thought we were going to get a bigger input here from NXT. And I thought we were going to get people moving to NXT. We didn't see that.
Maybe they're saving it for tomorrow night.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought the entire thing was dumb. Overall, though, I'd say Monday Night Raw won. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, not by much, but I'd give them the slight edge.
Yeah, it's just shit, though, man. I can't actually believe how bad this draft was.
There's been a lot of backlash, a lot of criticism to this draft. Do you think that WWE will take this on board and actually go with more moves than they were intending to on Raw tonight? Do you think WWE's like that?
No, he'll have it in place for last week, Triple H.
So you don't think they might make any changes considering the criticism this has got?
No.
Because I don't think anyone's happy with it. All I've seen is negative reviews.
Fuck me, man. If they didn't know anyone was going to be happy with it going into it, then what are they doing?
Although you could argue, I mean, no one's been happy with WWE for almost 2 decades now. They haven't changed it, so...
Aye.
You know, who are we going to kid? Anyway, guys, night 2 tonight. We'll see who moves. Aye. CM Punk's getting drafted tonight. I wonder what brand he'll be on. A couple other big guys getting drafted as well. And that's pretty much it, though. I think the champion's not moving was another bummer. It just took away a bunch of top guys that you could have moved. And yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. But also, I absolutely hate how they draft it, but it doesn't take place till like after Backlash.
Yeah, what's that about?
It should take place the very next show.
I know.
But for some reason, it doesn't take place till after the pay-per-view. I mean, it's just dumb. Why not do the draft the night after WrestleMania?
It's just so slow and dragged out.
And you know what?
Thank fuck you didn't do after Mania, man.
Raw's a 3-hour show. I think the draft could just take place on on Raw.
Yeah.
Or alternate. How about one year take place on Raw and the next year take place on SmackDown?
Yeah, why not?
Do we really need 2 nights of drafts? Especially when they're both shite.
That's it.
There's barely... No, but see, instead of all these people staying the same, why don't they only do drafts when it's actually somebody moving and just have less picks? And when you pick someone, you're automatically picking someone from the other brand.
Exactly.
Yo, would you not rather have that? Would you not rather just have 10 picks? 5 for each show? But the catch is, you only pick people from the other brand, and everybody on your brand automatically stays on that show unless they're picked by the opposing brand. Would that not be a better way of doing it?
Yes, of course it would. But they don't do it. 5
picks, each brand, you have to select someone, so it means every pick matters, and every pick is a fresh, and it's actually a draft, it's someone getting transferred, unlike this shite where 90% of the picks is nobody moving. It's fucking dumb. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Fog Wrestling here. Not saying we're the best channel on YouTube, but we're one of the best. So give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, Tony Khan sucks. And you know what? So does Triple H. Is big fucking... No, I mean, we've had the Bucks take out Tony Khan's neck. Can someone wrap a neck brace around Triple H's nose? Do us a favour. Get rid of this guy. Anyway, Gunther also said that, by the way, he only came to America when he realised Triple H was going to run WWE correctly because he hated the main roster before Triple H took over. What a fucking loser. I've hated the main roster ever since Gunther appeared on it. So.
Yep. Well, way back longer.
Alright, anyway guys, till next time. Peace.